What is up, you guys? We are here for our weekly romance oracle reading. Let's see what we have in store. I had a romantic little day with myself. I had a nice run. I did some creative projects to do with writing. I went on a nice long woodland walk. Had a good trip to the grocery store. Got all you can hope for anymore. And I got a cinnamon broom. I have a Charlie horse in my foot that I'm trying to squirm around. And I'm gonna make chili. And I think I might watch Practical Magic. So I'm excited. All right, our first card out is This Could Be the One. Now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, we had this card last week. We've definitely had cards recently that suggest that a significant love interest might present sooner rather than later. If not, they might already be in our lives in some aspect, or at least in the vicinity of circling the runway, right? So let's just see what else comes out. We're in the beginning, like the seed level of the year this week, and that's because the official spiritual new year has started, the high holidays are over, and the Torah reading is cyclical every year and started over this week in Genesis. So we are planting seeds for the next year to come. And if we are in that state, that essence of what we want to be in, you know, we need to emanate the essence of the partnership we want to be in. So in order to draw in the partner that we desire, we must be that partner as well. So, like in all the healing work that we're doing, is accelerating the process, and it's bringing that person in faster. And so if we want to set ourselves up for success and we want to quicken that process and call in and merit having that person show up in our lives, the sooner the better, right? So the thing we need to focus on is healing our codependency and healing our tendency to feel vulnerable to enmeshment. And so we have our own purpose and calling, and we're particularly being awakened to it recently. And so we cannot abandon that in, you know, the throes of a new love, right? And, you know, all of that love juice and drugs that comes over you and you get distracted. We can't throw away our plans. They're too important. Our purpose is really coming through in our lives. And so we have to just make sure that we're strong enough to maintain our own individuality and our own vision. At the same time, being able to allow someone to come in and integrate them into our lives, right? So we don't want to be codependent where we need someone else to survive or to feel, happiness or taken care of. Like, we need to be able to fill our own tank and know that the true source of our fulfillment is the Creator's source, right? But once we understand that and we know vessels can come and go, then it's like we're not so needy of something outside of us to satiate us. And so that way, when life presents us with moments where we have to make hard choices, we've established a self-love and a self-worth where we can put ourselves first. We can make a tough decision and walk away if we are compromising ourselves by continuing on in a relationship. Whereas if we're codependent, it's a lot harder to walk away from a relationship where our true, authentic self is being compromised because we're afraid to be alone, or we're afraid about what will happen if we don't, or that we can't take care of ourselves, right? So in order to be truly free within a relationship, we have to be able to, one, stand on our own 2 feet emotionally, financially, spiritually, and then be an equal when you're bringing your value to the table in the relationship, spiritually, emotionally, right? You want to bring your best, and you want to attract someone who's at their best, who's equal with you, right? And so we don't want to be too independent, right? Where we can't receive, where we can't let anybody into our life either. That's going to the extreme. So the Goldilocks zone is to be interdependent and to be able to have a secure enough attachment style to slowly get to know people and let them in as they earn their way into your life and as they reveal who their true colors are over time and over going through different kinds of experiences together, right? So as we heal our codependency, it makes us safer for the universe to allow that person to come into our life, because we won't completely lose ourselves in the relationship trying to people please and trying to keep that person in our life. It's like we can have enough backbone and frame to hold our own identity and allow someone in and care about them, but also not so much that we compromise or abandon ourselves for them. All right. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, passion. I love it. So I love that this is the caveat. It's like, okay, this could be the one, and it is going to be pretty passionate. And so that is kind of like the warning. It's like, hey, this can be overwhelming, and you're going to have to like stay emotionally sober. So it's going to be like this. And you can't forget your whereabouts. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Woo. I remember last week it said it was safe for us to love too. So perhaps we have done a lot of healing in the realm of codependency. And so it's safe to allow our hearts to open up and really feel the depths of what they're capable of again. Ooh, playfulness. Okay. So in order to put the little vibes out in the air, we need to be playful, we need to be open, we need to be a little bit flirty, inviting, warm, friendly. To capture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. I tell you what, whenever I'm in a state of lightness and fun, and I can be just doing the simplest things. But when I'm in my zone, men love it. They applaud. All I have to do is make a little boomerang in a cottagecore dress out in the forest and hint at a chili or something like that. And they are like, this is great. I love it. I love you. They're sending me messages. So it's our playfulness and our light force within us and the things that light us up and bring us passion, right? It's not when we're one-dimensional and we're overly, trying to lay it on thick. That's not really what attracts men in the end. It's kind of like your essence, right? What kind of moment are you enticing these your suitors into, whether you're male, female? It's like, okay, what kind of vibe are you hanging out in your place? What kind of life or energy is this person going to be coming into, and what kind of energy are they bringing into their life, right? The more multi-dimensional you are, the richer the experience you have with, people, right? So don't be afraid to let yourself be seen and to shine. There was a girl at the restaurant the other night, and it's like this man and this chick, and it was somebody came by and they were like, do you think that is an escort or a first date? And honestly, it to me seemed like an escort. And I think it was because there was a lot of subtle clues that kind of gave it away. But I felt like this girl was doing herself an injustice you don't have to be a sex worker to be an escort. Sometimes people just go as a dinner date, right? But I feel like in her youth, she was overly selling this sexy image, and it wasn't super attractive. It just kind of looked like she was probably an escort, right? And the thing is that had she gone out in a more subtle dress, and talked about her interests and things, and maybe like talked about food that she likes to make, or whatever. I think that like that is the kind of layers of characteristics about people that add a unique attraction that isn't just a out of the bottle Hollywood sexy archetype, right? It's just like, well, yeah, okay, but that doesn't really attract a soul. It barely attracts a paying customer, I think. And so I think that like we don't have to get too hung up on being perfect in our appearance or competing with like young, hot girls, because I've noticed a lot lately that like I don't feel a sense of competition with somebody because they're younger or in a sexier outfit, because I feel confident that I have a unique set of qualities that will attract the right person. And so I'm not in competition with anyone else, but I know that from time and experience that if you want a deeper attraction that's really going to get someone invested and interested, you don't have to lead with all that. You can just be your quirky, interesting self, and that will be what attracts someone in a way that where they like can't get enough of you, right? You get under their skin and they think about it later, and you kind of like light up their day because of like these like things, that you bring to the table, right? So, oh, look at this. Okay, so this could be the one. I like it. So this is the Chariot card. So once this starts, it could move quickly. So the key will be to maintain balance, a Goldilocks zone of allowing things to develop and not sort of like throwing a wet blanket on a fire as it's getting stoked. However, also maintaining a pace that doesn't go so fast that you fly through all the really fun stages and you kind of like go straight into like bored couple mode too quickly, right? So you want to like go at a pace that is like slow and steady, but not too slow where it like plateaus or stagnates, right? So I don't know how we would compare it. You're not like walking, but you're not sprinting, right? This is like a comfortable jog, right? So, yes, balancing give and take, balancing giving and receiving. Like think about the charioteer has to keep two horses in line, right? And so think about the binary aspects of relationship, right? Hot, cold, give, take, together, distant, sweet, salty, like there's different dimensions to bring to the table and we have to keep them balanced. Okay, what more do we need to know about codependency? Ooh, believe and succeed, 6 of Wands. So this is good. This means victory and overcoming. So it's like we have come through and we've made it to the other side of our old patterns of codependency. And so now we're ready to receive a partner, and even like a very passionate partnership, someone who mutually wants to move things forward quickly. And so again, we've done a lot of work to establish a secure attachment style and to avoid like abandoning ourselves in the excitement of someone new or something new, right? And so now we're anchored, we're grounded, and we've gotten to know ourselves on a deeper level. And so we know what we're bringing to the picture and we know what's important to us, and we're not going to just let those things fall by the wayside. All right. Passion. Let's see what more we can find out. Ooh, shine. Okay, the Sun card. This is like confirmation. It's a big hell yeah. So it like trust, I guess, when something feels right and it's starting to take off and all signs point to go and you're not ignoring red flags, like really let yourself be seen, let your joy shine. open yourself up to like allowing the light to come through and in. The Sun card is about like beautiful, fulfilling new beginnings, new abundance, new happiness, new joy. It talks about whatever something new that's getting started is taking a turn for the success, right? So successful. So it's like, don't allow old insecurities to come up and cause you to act insecure or uncertain or do behaviors that you would do when you were not securely attached, right? Now that you're securely attached, you have a chance to believe in yourself. So go into this new experience, this new person with a clean slate, totally believing in yourself and being under the assumption that you're the shit, and that of course they're going to, be like all about you, and there is nobody that compares to you, and you have a unique set of characteristics that you bring to the table, right? And just stay confident in that and be confident that you're going to be victorious. And if it's the right person, then it's going to move quickly. It's going to move along, and you're going to need to slow it down to maintain the maximum level of excitement, right? Because I knew this card was going to come out. It's no fun when you kind of rush through all of the beginning nerves and the fun, like, make out stage, and you're just going straight into like, doing everything. It's like stretch that part out. That takes you back to like early days of teenagehood, right? And it is a very exciting phase to like allow to breathe in a relationship. So don't rush through that. And then playfulness. So coming together, this is 2 of Cups. This is like kindred spirits, like let the chemistry happen, repartee, let the playfulness bring the 2 of you together, right? Follow that train. If you've got someone that you're like, man, I think it might be this person, and you have like good energy and good dynamic, like don't play it too cool for school. Like let yourself shine, let your playfulness come out, kind of tease them a little bit, because they might be nervous about approaching you. They might not be sure that you kind of like are into them as well. So little flirts go a long way in like letting someone know what, put the vibe out. All right, y'all. That's all for tonight. I love it. I mean, we've had nothing but positive warnings that we have all the trappings for romance this cuffing season. People are going to be wanting to, have those dates for holiday parties. So people are in the mood for love when the weather gets cozy. So let us use that to our advantage. Be extra whimsical out there. Bring that fall vibe. Love it. All right, you all. Until tomorrow, we'll be back for our weekly reflection message. But until then, peace.